Now we are unmuted. Hello.
All right, Nick. Paddle drop.
What?
Paddle drop.
Title drop. What title drop? It's already in the. It's already in the title. Because like,
I don't know.
I mean,
don't know where I am.
It's been.
It's 'cause I put us on the map.
This is basically session 7. It's been 2 weeks, and we only have like a couple sessions before we have to take another hiatus from this from D&D. Woo!
2 more weeks or something. I don't know.
It's about like 3 weeks, because then it's like I got tax weekend for Labor Day, and then I got a wedding to go to, and
As long as it doesn't get canceled.
yeah, all that stuff. It's like I got a couple things for the next 2 weeks in September, and then you and Jamie have something to do after the wedding I have to go to.
The end of September.
I was about to say after your wedding. Excuse me, Nick. Or is there something you're not telling us?
Yeah, I'm having a secret wedding, and all of you guys are not invited.
Anyways.
Wow. Rude.
Anyways, Chris, you're on, so go for it.
Anyways, in our previous adventure, you guys finally started investigating the bathhouse. You've gone pretty well into it. You've barged through the occupied bathhouse and scared a bunch of people that were inside. Descended into the abandoned crypt below. Been ambushed once by a bunch of pretending to be dead cultists, and have gone through a very tough fight against 2 heavily armored cultists who were torturing a semi-conscious person who's still hanging on the wall behind you. The chamber has a statue that seems to have actual gauntlets still intact. There's an altar straight in front of you guys, and there seems to be a door behind you that you haven't come through, that you notice as the fighting dies down, as well as the pathway to the south that you can take.
Let's get the guy off the wall. That looks a teensy bit uncomfortable.
Is he still conscious? Like, is he just hanging there moaning on the wall?
He's still alive, semi-conscious. He doesn't seem to notice you at the moment, considering nobody's stabbing him right now.
Yep, that's true.
Do I need to make a strength check?
No. You notice that the guy with the spear has a keyring on his belt.
Neat. That makes things so much nicer. Let's see.
Well, let's hope this guy's an occultist too. Otherwise, it'll make it
really awkward.
Let's get him
Let's get him
down.
down.
Well, Plink's getting him down. Does anybody else want to do anything?
Go over and start kicking the bodies. I'm very upset right now.
Just like Zars just kick the body.
Yeah, Zars is not in a good place right now.
Wait, so the body, you're saying the walls over here? You're getting off?
Yeah, he's hanging above the altar.
Can we do? Is it the investigation roll to see what the altar is about?
It's religion.
What kind of? Can we see what kind of religion?
Again, you'd have to
Just
make
a
a religion
religion
roll.
check.
Oh, it's a religion
Just
roll.
a straight up religion.
Oh yeah, that's what it's like. I thought you meant like it was just like some kind of religion. What's
I
a
wanna
religion?
try.
That's a bad roll.
Nice one, Janine.
Yes.
You know everything.
I know everything about this religion. Clearly, this is regular human religion. The one that everybody practices. I'm
Oren,
sure of it.
He's
I'm
gone.
Oren,
convinced.
whatever this altar is, you're very disinterested in the actual history behind it.
I'm
Borg, you know that the altar, just like the 2 idiots that you've just killed, is dedicated to the god Bane.
Mm-hmm.
And that's about it.
I was say he was on the door we went through.
Oh yeah, that would be true. Yeah. I don't remember what happened last time anyway. Cool. Okay, so we can't take the guy down, I'm guessing. Is he still conscious?
I was saying, are we just gonna leave him there, or are we gonna drag
Plink
him?
was
with
getting him
us? What are we
down
doing
as
with him?
best Plink can at her height.
All right.
Think he's short. Think he's having short people problems, guys.
Orin will try to help.
All right.
Short people do it.
Because like Borg sees the Plink struggle and walks over, grabs the guy off the wall, one-handed, and just drops him.
Do you,
He's injured.
do you take the keys off? Keys and unshackle him first, or do you just try and rip him off the wall?
From the wall.
I'm trying to unshackle him, I swear.
I didn't realize there were keys needed.
Yeah, he's
Does Borg
shackled.
realize
He's
that it needs
chained.
keys?
I gotta ask that question. Is that what you're doing?
I guess Borg just tries to rip off the shackles.
Oh God.
But keys,
Um,
guys, Blink his keys.
Okay, give me a
Where's his
strength check.
armor?
Plink is just like here. Plink is like
Blink his keys. Keys, guys.
Okay, against all odds, Borg just takes the man's shackle and all out of the wall,
boom.
somehow not hurting him.
I just imagine.
Hole in the wall now.
I just imagine just Plink is just like keys. Boom.
The stability of the wall doesn't look super great though, as you remove another structure point from it.
We're gonna be buried underground, aren't we?
The man looks very concerned that you just ripped him from the wall without unlocking his shackle.
I mean, now
He
Plink.
doesn't seem like he's willing to offer any information if he knows anything, especially about who he is, because he's not clear of your motive in this scenario.
Honestly, probably fair.
Considering the fact for
Dude,
just
dude.
rip him off.
Keys. 5
I
seconds.
mean, considering
That's it.
considering there's a short thing yelling the keys, a giant thing that just ripped him out of the wall, and then a red-skinned horn thing kicking bodies, I would also be concerned.
Questioning everything.
What do you wanna do with him, I guess?
Blink's just gonna start very sadly using keys at this point. He's very depressed. Like you're just. I'm kind of done with this. Just here, no more bracelets.
He kind of looks like Plink, obviously the only bastion of sanity he can get at this moment, as you free him. He introduces himself as Clem. The name means nothing to you, and as far as you know, whoever he is, it doesn't seem that important. He doesn't offer any other information beyond his name.
Do we tell him ours? Like, does he
I don't
just
know.
offer
What
his
do
name
you
and we
wanna do
go,
with him?
Hi.
I don't know. Borg don't worry.
He's obviously heavily wounded. What do you want to do?
I think I got something for that. I got a sticky.
Oh.
Do a sticker?
Yeah, I have a sticky. And I can go. Boop. As soon as I find my boop. Where's my boop? Here's my boop.
I mean, did you write your
Oh.
entire spell list there?
Yee.
Also, you rolled a nat 20 on a thing that doesn't actually have an attack roll.
I'm special.
Really healed.
Really fully
You
healed.
just want to hit the... Yeah, there we go.
Yay!
Alright, as you attach a sticker... Sticker?
Pretty much like a gear, little mini puffy gear sticker at this point.
As you attach the puppy gear sticker to him, his wounds magically knot together and heal. He certainly looks much better, though he's very unclear of what you guys still plan to do with him, especially the three who are definitely not human.
Paying him
Don't
attention.
mind them, and they're nuts, and I'm a gnome.
Did you just call?
Nope.
Did you just call
I was
all
gonna
of
say
us
Zars
nuts?
really does not care about him. Zars is just ready to like either leave or move forward, and just he can either follow or stay. Zars doesn't care about him anymore.
Borg doesn't care.
As I
too
said,
much.
Zars is not in a necessarily a good place.
Yeah, Borg doesn't.
Orin comes over and just pats his head.
Borg doesn't really care too much. He just only did it because did not want to see Plink struggle.
He stammers a bit, saying that if you guys get him out of here safely, his family will pay you handsomely for the rescue.
Well, we can't really leave you here. That kind of just not cool. So, should we give him a quick escort out and kind of explain to the Bathos people that they got an infestation down here that we're kind of taking care of?
I feel like the Bath people already know about this place.
We could let the guards know about the infestation as well. Kind of let them know that fun things.
You remember that the guards have hired you to take care of the fun things.
Ooh.
Well, we can tell them they can come clean up the bodies down here, unless they want them to rot and then make everything smell. Although, granted, Cyrus is still kicking bodies, so I don't think he's too worried about that at the moment.
Also,
Orin's
granted
playing
that
rescue music.
Is it we say that let's see. There's a lot more to the place. So
Let's see. We do need to continue forward, but we cannot.
we can
In our current state, can't we keep going too far? Because otherwise, we're all gonna die.
So, I was gonna say, I don't remember how much you got hit for, Jamie, your character.
I don't know what Jamie's
But-
health
There
is.
are little bits of blood coming through the gaps in my armor.
Oh!
Well then,
not doing too great, guys.
You
Are you,
that's
just a scratch.
unfortunate.
we can't necessarily leave this whole place because we already made our presence known here.
Ooh, but we need to at least find a place to hide him so he doesn't get all kidnapped again.
I mean, to be fair, it's not that far from the entrance to the bathhouse, but I don't know if we want to just give him the directions back or.
It is like a 5-minute walk, but he is also human and cannot see in the dark.
It's squishy.
It's also that
Oh.
that many
Right.
the people in here might follow him and kill him and recapture him.
Yep.
Dun dun dun.
It's either best that we either continue on with him or we find a place to rest up really quickly. Here.
Probably both. Bare minimum, we do need some rest. I got.
I mean, if you guys want to take a short rest in here, Zars can do watch.
I got
Go-
3 more of those little stickums.
Borg is currently a little bit damaged, so as much as he likes
Well.
to fight,
I mean, Zars got hit, but for like hardly anything, and Zars is too wound up to do like a actual rest.
mhm.
So even if we went back to the hotel, you guys would rest. Zars would not.
The rest
So I don't really
just
care what you guys
means you're
wanna
not
do.
doing anything incredibly active. So even if you're just pacing around, it's considered a rest.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Borg looks at his body, considering that he's how scratched up he is. Already starts to settle down a little bit.
Yes, if you are the one on watch, you also get the benefit of a long rest or a short rest. So long as
so you
nothing
guys
actually
can decide what
attacks.
to do. Zaris is fine with
Borg
giving a
is just
watch if you want.
is deciding to sit down and take a little breather really quickly because that was a lot of work he has done.
Okay.
And especially since
I'm
considering Plink
trying
is
to
already.
remember if I'm short rest or long rest.
I just like Borg just like also looks at Plink, who's currently just spewing out blood, and is just like just gonna.
Yeah, no, removing chainmail and there's just
More blood than you
more
think.
blood than
Oh
you
god.
Ugh.
think there should be.
Jeez.
Jeez. But in a good mood.
Oren's gonna play a song of rest during our break.
You still have the one spell going that you ritualed.
Fudge, which spell was that?
Detect magic.
Detect magic, right? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess that would still be going.
Yeah, it's up to 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Did
did
you cast a spell in the last fight? I think you did.
I just
Yeah,
used,
but I don't think it was a concentration spell.
Oh, my bad. I only have 2 more spells.
I
No,
used,
casting another spell where you're concentrating on one spell breaks the concentration.
I thought that just gave disadvantage.
No.
Is it?
I think you're thinking of a different system.
Am I thinking of a different?
Mhm.
You're probably right.
Concentration in this system requires that your action be used on the concentration of that action. You can attack, but you cannot use another spell because that breaks that concentration.
I think at level 3 I only have 3 spells.
I have like 3 rages, but I already used 2 of them, so Borg needs to
Yeah,
rest.
concentration is pretty strict.
I need to get some spells done.
Well,
However,
don't tell
there's
my other
always-
D&D group that that's the case, because I've definitely been doing that wrong.
It's up to GMs, and
Yeah, I was
also
gonna say.
concentration requires you've read a lot of the magic rules to figure out properly.
There's a lot of magic.
I mean, as long as it's consistent within the party and the GM is fine
Yeah.
with it, I don't think it really matters.
Up to Kristen.
I'm trying to remember what you cast because I think it was mostly
Okay,
cantrips.
How does concentration work in 5e according to Nerds and Scoundrels?
If you casted mostly cantrips, I'll argue that that wouldn't break concentration.
I'm pretty sure
I don't think you casted anything of a leveled spell.
I used up since during last session I used
spells.
1 spell slot, which I think which wasn't used for detect magic, was used for something else, but I think it was used earlier on.
Yeah, I think it was used earlier on too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I have 2 more spells left, guys.
So anyways, we'll just roll that you'd still have detect magic on because
Yeah.
I cannot remember anything about the last session properly.
It's been a while.
As you scan the room before you guys rest, you notice that the armor in the corner, while welded together, has magical hands.
What does that mean?
Can I play pat a cake with the magical hands? What?
Touch. They had touch.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
It means armor has bad touch.
Do we need a roll for that to know what kind of spell it does?
No. Orin would know that it's a crap. What's the spell variety? Enchantment spell.
so they're just magical. Like it's
No,
not gonna come to life.
it's enchanted items, which on specific items can usually only mean one thing.
Bad touch.
You're gonna have to spell that out for me.
Basically, enchantment spells can give objects life.
Got it.
Especially-
So it might be a moving set of armor. Cool. Okay.
Currently, it's not doing anything, so
If it touches us, so
whatever you guys are doing, you haven't triggered it.
Orin
Cool.
Orin in front, like on the ground in front of it, is gonna spell out using prestidigitation, friend or foe? Question mark. I'd be eyeballing it.
How long is Oren gonna watch the question?
Oh, this is more directed towards the others, technically. Not that Oren has made that clear to anyone.
I was gonna say Zaris is not paying attention whenever.
I-
you're
Huh?
doing-
I am going to
Are we-
take a
are
peek.
you-
I am curious.
Oren just basically did this just to ask make us know that it was asking a question.
I think Oren's trying to
Oren-
determine if you guys think it's a friend or foe type of scenario.
I'm gonna Arcana this then, cause I got Arcana. New.
that didn't do much.
It's Arcana roll.
Is it magical? Is it not magical? Which is this magic nature?
You can
Uh,
you look at it and realize that yes, indeed, you've seen this magic before, but you just can't put your finger on it.
Borg.
Borg don't know what magic is.
Borg is like really not really paying attention to it.
Borg's thick skull is like magic's a lie, even though you've clearly seen magic happen around you. You are a magical being.
Mhm.
I was gonna say.
You're like
Borg's-
magic isn't real.
Borg too tired.
Borg too tired. I'll give you that.
This seems familiar, but I can't quite place it at the moment. Sorry. Kind of interesting though, but
I don't know. It's up to you guys. At this point, you haven't done anything to make them do anything. You can leave them alone. You can touch them. We can pretend they don't
That's probably
exist.
bad touch.
Bad touch.
Probably.
I'm trying to think of what skills I have that I could.
Let me be very clear. It's not the entire armor itself. It's specifically the two gauntlets seem like they could be detached. The rest of the armor is welded together and immovable.
I really want to do something that's probably tremendously stupid.
You too?
Oh no.
Do
Out
it.
of character.
If it's within character, do it.
Or an
Curiosity is getting better at me because I know it's not a good idea because Clink is like not doing super good. But curiosity, guys.
this is you know what, fine. From the low reactions of everyone else, and no one being like that's a foe or anything like that, and mild boredom on Oren's part, Oren's going to hold one of the gauntlets and like pull down to like detach the gauntlet from the arm.
Better than Clink's idea.
All right.
Yeah.
Roll initiative.
Oh no.
I told you it was a stupid idea. I knew it was gonna be.
I wasn't fully paying attention, and when Chris was like roll initiative, it's like, oh god. Janine, what do you do?
Really?
Have we
I was doing
rested up
great.
at all before this?
I don't think
I'm
so.
doing great. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
I don't think
Alright.
so.
Start of our short rest.
No, because this happened because of the length of detect magic of being only 10 minutes. It's
Yeah, it
before
would
the
have
short
happened
rest.
before the short
It's
rest.
like so
would
Borg
have
just
happened.
sat down, and then Orange just flies over. And then
Yeah,
we have
just
I
sat down
want
for
to
like
touch
5
it.
minutes.
Bad touch.
that touch.
Anyways, as Orin goes to touch it, the two gauntlets fly to life, escaping Orin's grasp, and just straight up look ready to throw hands with everybody.
I want them.
Oh no.
I want to be friends with them.
I want to dissect this.
You wanted to do what?
I
Shane?
I
second.
want to dissect.
Why do you want to? You...
Yes.
Okay, since all of you have no idea what you're fighting, and I don't know how.
I have no idea. I don't have this Borg is
Link
just
is
like
like,
on.
yes, this
Borg-
is cool. I want
Borg
to
is
know
on
how this
instinct
works.
mode. Borg is on instinct mode.
These are
Lars is pacing, turns around and see these floating gauntlets being ready to just
Do I have enough
slow
time to like
down
put on one,
before
like do like a charge music sound?
No.
Fight.
Anyways. These are animated objects. Just so we're clear.
Mm-hmm.
You've encountered it before. There was an animated armor at the bar.
But someone only needed a hand.
These have been animated similar to how someone would make animated swords that fly around helping in combat.
Oh.
Just except it high fives your face.
Mm.
Yeah, except it just does bludgeoning over.
Slashing.
That's about it. Anyways. Oren, you're going up first.
Of course.
Position yourselves, by the way, where you would technically be during the
Yeah.
start of your rest
I would,
attempt.
you are going back on the stairs to sit down, but that's where I
Okay,
have-
so Borg will be where Borg is then.
I don't know where Jamie is.
I already
I thought she was with the person.
I was helping the person.
I was helping the person as well as investigating the armor because it looks shiny and cool.
Okay,
I
so,
need to put-
so,
by the
so the
body.
guy
Him a
is
token.
cowering in a little bit of fear right now.
He has no idea what's going on.
It's like these crazy people.
Crazy.
Would vicious mockery work on? Nothing says it doesn't.
Cannot
True.
be. No, it would not. They're animated objects. They don't have a mind.
So do they even have emotions?
So
No.
they can't. So they're immune to psychic damage.
They're immune to basically anything you can think.
You just
Cool.
basically have to destroy it, like physically.
Yeah,
Bored.
basically.
This is gonna go great.
Boom.
I'm not gonna lie, these are just literal objects. They have the same level of immunity as any other object in the universe.
Yep.
Time to
Ah.
break some fingers.
Basically.
You know what? We're gonna.
It
for
would
the
have been
first
nice
time
if one of us
ever-
had a hammer, a sledgehammer. That would do it.
I have an axe.
Did somebody say hammer?
Oh no. Drop the hammer.
Pink
Hammer
can
time.
hammer problems.
There.
I
I
don't-
put Clem on the board. Anyways, I don't know what your plan is.
Think
Uh,
smash.
If vicious mockery wouldn't work, then we're just gonna do. None of these are the right thing.
Run away.
We're just gonna do a bow.
Okay. Roll your bow. Ah, that's failed to hit.
Yeah, that makes sense.
As much as they're regular objects, they are also armored.
Yeah.
Regular armored object.
Yep.
Do they count as armor if they themselves are the armor?
That's how animated armor works. As ridiculous as it sounds.
Yeah. No, that didn't.
All right, flying gauntlet number 2. This is gonna try and face check Orin.
Oh no.
I didn't have time to put on a shield, guys.
Oh no.
Oh no.
I don't actually know if I hit you.
You don't. Isn't like base 12 though? No, I've got 14, but I'm pretty sure like the lowest that one can.
No, your base is 10, plus dex modifiers plus armor.
Okay, never mind. Then.
Technically, you could go below 10 if you have
Yeah,
negative.
no, zombies have like a 9.
Yeah.
8 or a 9. Zombies are bad. But
Well,
good.
I have, thankfully, more than that. in my armor.
If you have a low dex and decide not to wear armor, you're basically gonna get hit by everything. Anyways, the flying gauntlet straight up flies past Orin's face. Its hands just ready to slap anybody who comes at it. Borg, you gonna come at it?
I'll come at the one that's right on top of Borg, and sweet. I don't go rage. Borg
Okay.
uses regular great axe,
Regular. Okay, you get hit.
and 7.
Okay. Let's see.
7.
Borg smacks it to the ground, and while it doesn't break, it does float back up. Link,
Fist bump.
there's one directly on top of you, and you failed a fist bump, as it knows the tactic too well.
Hello, guys.
I want a fish
It
bump.
saw it coming. It also went in for the fist bump, and then it did the butterfly away, or the jellyfish away.
All right, Nick, as the fist you swatted down comes up, it aims for the crotch.
Oh god.
Scratch shot.
Got shot. Waiting for the roll. Ah, it hit
18.
my nuts.
Oh!
It hits my nuts.
Yules.
Ding. Oh.
Hope you're wearing a cup.
Does the least amount of damage though.
I mean,
Or you
that
take
makes-
two.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Zaris, you're up.
Cool. Zara still has the spectral arms and whatnot
Yeah, you would.
because it hasn't been 10 minutes yet. So he's gonna use that to make which one's closer? This
Flying
it's this
sword
thing,
number 1.
right?
Yeah.
This thing.
The other
Okay.
one's under
He's-
Plank's model. I don't know why.
There's a thingamabobber?
Yeah, that's when you
Yeah,
tried to
it's
fist bump.
Great thing.
Yeah, it's under Plank. I don't know Plank backs, but
Oh, there's
Oh,
the
I see
skulls.
the other
I
one.
thought they were part of the
Yeah.
I use skull models because I have no hand models.
That you know what? It's fine. It makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever.
That makes
Anyway,
perfect sense, honestly. I was just
I'm-
confused.
I'm gonna match fist for fist. So
Oh, please.
Fist for fist as you use your medium spectral fists.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
and that doesn't do anything. But I can try again.
Oh,
It
no.
It's-
doesn't do anything.
Not it.
It hits?
No.
Oh yeah. Zaris is so caught off guard from there suddenly being flying fists.
I
That
really
he-
need to figure out how to get that.
Zaris is caught off
Can't
guard by
hit.
flying fists that are not his own.
Exactly.
I really need to
Alright.
figure out how to hit better.
Orin, you're up.
Right?
It's not hit better, it's just hit the target.
Hit it
I
all.
can't-
Yeah, it's actually making contact.
I don't know how to make contact.
I just realized my
My two hit is
dagger is
abysmal.
probably an easier. I'll have an easier time hitting with it.
You're also technically taking penalties for being this close shooting a bow.
Right?
Why is
Okay,
magic
we're
missile
gonna
only a
switch
plus
over.
two to hit?
What about magic missile?
I think I may have done some of my attack stats wrong because they look weird.
Oh no.
You're also low level. You'd hit that. By the way.
I don't know what I'm supposed to click though. To
The Fey
do
Dagger
damage.
Feather.
Oh, there we go. No.
No, in the chat box.
The
Or-
word.
yeah.
The word.
No, I'm trying to figure out how to do the.
Yeah,
The-
go over to the chat bar, hit Fey Dagger Feather in it, underneath the
Oh.
roll of 19.
Thank you. Oops, my bad. Wrong roll.
Were you swinging at the one to the right or the left of you?
By
Right?
which one did I start with?
I don't know. We never specified where you started.
That's true. We never did.
We're gonna do the one in front of Plank.
Okay. Alright. You swat it, and it just kind of looks a bit more pissed off, if that's possible for a fist. It's gonna try and face check you again.
Angry-
you scratched its
music.
shiny
Mhm.
armor.
I can.
Oh. What is your AC?
14.
Dang.
I have good
Indeed.
dexterity.
That's actually helpful.
It is pretty
Yeah,
helpful.
dexterity is good.
Borg.
Do the
Borg.
thing.
Slowly gets up by hitting the cross shot. It's a little angry.
You took the minimum damage from that.
Still hurts. I still got
But
hurt.
there's the ego. It's ego damage.
You hit.
It's psychic damage.
No
Psychic
ego damage. It's slightly more crippling.
Borg hits
All
it
right,
down again.
Borg brings his axe down, and basically the gauntlet exists, and then there's tiny bits of metal scattering across the floor.
Dibs.
Okay. And that leaves the last one still flying about, trying to swat Orin in the face. Plink, you're up.
What do Blink do? Yes.
You hit,
Yes.
and you do 7 damage.
Nice.
Boop it.
It
Gauntlet for
reacts
gauntlet.
to getting slapped. However, it still is magically floating. Cyrus?
And if it attacks anyone else other than me, it is at
Takes a disadvantage, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Lissa?
Well, I can't do much.
Okay.
I can do. Oh wait, I can throw a dagger at it or a dart, can't I?
You
What's
can.
the range
Any
of my dart?
daggers, darts, anything with the thrown category can be thrown.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw a dart at it.
Okay.
Past Borg, who's limping down, and past the horn too. Got it.
Yeah, I passed all of you.
Don't worry, I don't use ones as a hit to others. Hey, you'd hit it.
Woo!
That's a good one. Nice.
Dart.
Alright, and
Oh,
as much as you guys have slapped it around, it's somehow holding on. It looks like it's starting to lilt as the magic's fading, but it's still gonna sit there.
still float there.
Orin, can you finish it before it slaps you in the face?
But can it hit it though? That's the question.
We'll try.
Oh no!
Orin overextends, the dagger flying out of their hand.
The tiny hand.
The two flying objects.
The two flying objects disarm one another.
I got confused. I thought we were throwing things now.
Yeah. Orin, having seen the effectiveness of a dart, decides to throw their dagger.
Completely forgetting that my dagger looks like a feather and therefore probably
And it just kind of like
flies.
slides
Flying
down.
Flying
Slowly
dagger,
just falling
ignoring
down
the
on
fact
the
that
ground.
Blink just slapped it, decides to go for Orin continuously because Orin was the one who woke it up.
Mm,
Yeah, that's fair.
3 disadvantage.
Ay, ay, ay.
I
Oh,
luckily you disadvantage, so that crit's nullified, but I'd still hit you.
Yeah.
And you take 3 damage,
Ouch.
which I think is the first time you've taken damage.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a little bit anyway.
That's fair. I did something stupid.
You got the gauntlet makes connection with your face.
Gives you a face palm.
Slap. It's like, where's your sense? Alright, Borg. Can you bring it home?
Yeah,
I'm
so can I just do something a little bit more Borg-esque where I want to do reckless attack.
Okay.
So I basically you get
Yeah, you get advantage on your attack.
yeah.
Well, he gets advantage. Anything gets advantage on you in the next round.
Yeah. I want to do because like Borg slowly gets up, decides to see the see the hand, and then decides to go for full-on ramming mode. I did do it twice, right?
I mean, you'd hit the first one, so it's not really important to roll the
Yeah.
second one.
Yeah, true.
Do the thing.
I ram it into a wall.
Just
Boom.
ram a fist.
So Borg's direction he literally rams it directly above Clem's head into the wall as it shatters to pieces. Clem, give me a second.
But by the way, I ram with my head. By the way, it
Oh
says
my
I
God.
ram with my head.
You give it a headbutt.
Yep.
Clem looks ready to soil his pants, but he does not run away somehow.
Frozen in fear. The poor guy.
You have successfully dispatched the gauntlets. However,
You may have lost all trust you have gained.
Borg no care.
Borg don't care. Borg strong.
Borg strong.
Anyways, now with whatever that distraction was out of the way, it seems you have time to rest.
Borg goes back, gets his head
Boris
out of
goes
the
over and
wall.
picks up his dart.
You guys want to do anything while you're resting? You can inspect the rest of the room.
I want to pick up
Cyrus
the
is
bits of the
gonna
gauntlet for fun.
meditate to try and calm his rage.
We're gonna paint the shield so Plink can use it.
True, I'm gonna pick up the gauntlet bits for later, just for experiments.
Borg before
Okay.
he fully rests while
But
everyone does their own
definitely
thing.
whitewash the shield so it doesn't look so nasty.
Borg wants to do a quick look around before he fully sits down, just to see if there's any more distractions.
You roll a perception check.
Perception.
Ooh, that's not...
Borg, as you look around the room,
Ooh.
you notice as you get close to the east door, over here, you notice a really gosh awful smell coming from it.
Bodies. Decaying bodies.
Probably. As long as it's not immediate danger, Borg just sits down, but keeps watching on that door.
Specifically rotting eggs.
Borg holds his breath.
Does
No.
Clink notice the smell of rotting eggs?
You can inspect the door.
True. Clink's also engrossed in making the shield less rotty, ugly, more like no pretty.
Okay.
That is the unfortunate part of being a perfectionist. Now Blink has a shield that actually looks pretty.
Yeah. Borg just sits down. Doesn't move.
Anyways, so do you guys know how short rests work mechanically?
Nope. I have no idea. I'm guessing Alyssa and Janine, though, clearly well.
Totally, because I definitely play in a party where they take short rests. And don't full go
Anyways,
through
the
everything.
short rest
Yeah.
mechanics are really janky, and actually uses that hit die number that you guys have no idea about.
The D12.
Yeah, I need to use my
Yeah, you have a hit die equal to the amount of levels you have in your class. In order to recover health on a short rest, you roll any number of those between 1 to 3. That's available to you. Any burnt dice during a short rest do not reappear until you've taken a long rest. So that's how you regain health during a short rest.
Yep.
At the end of a long rest, everything is always restored to you.
I'll also be doing Song of Rest, so that also gives you guys a bonus if you decide to use your hit die.
It says I only have one total hit die. Is that right?
You have 3.
You have 3.
I did not
have
update
3.
that then. Whee!
Nope.
It's equal to your class level.
Yeah. So we're level 3 right now, so you have 3 hit die.
I won't
well,
confuse
technically
you
you have 4
later.
now because we're on
No,
Uh,
it gives you an
get a
extra
D6.
1d6
An extra 1d6?
per the dice used. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
That writing is really
well,
weird on
sure.
Song of Rest.
I have no
I think it's just if they use 1 or more hit die, then they get.
You know what? I'm gonna
extra.
argue that it's per hit
Oh.
dice.
Okay, I won't. I'm not gonna have that argument long. That's fine.
It's more benevolent, and it honestly is a bit more fair.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm not gonna do that. I only lost 3 health. I'm fine right now.
That's fair.
I lost.
So I'm just gonna meditate.
Okay. Did anybody restore anything on a short rest as well?
Nope.
I'll probably roll 1 hit die at least.
Okay.
Do I do like total?
So you'd roll a d12 plus a d6.
All right, so /r d12 plus d6.
Ooh.
Nice.
Borg gains 11 health.
I saw Rust was doing some heavy lifting.
Uh-huh.
Link restores 13 health.
Thank you, Janine.
Thank you very
You're
much.
welcome.
So I do -1 on the total of the hit dice for now.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
So now I have 2 hit dice left.
Yep.
I have 1.
Unfortunately, you do not regain your rages.
And I do not regain spells.
No, wait, regain spells. Lissa, do you regain key points or no?
So I'm meditating, which allows me to gain a key point, but I think I only gain 1 back in a short rest.
Okay.
If I'm reading that right.
Okay. Let me see real fast.
Yeah, it's unavailable until you finish a short or long rest and must spend
Melissa,
at least
why are
30
your
minutes of the rest
those?
meditating. Well,
Sorry. Where's the meditation coming from?
what?
Oh, I see, I see. No, you'd regain all your key points. At least by the wording of what you've written there.
I just copied and paste.
Yeah, then you'd regain
So
all your key points with 30 minutes of meditation.
I get them all back or just the one?
It reads as all of them back.
Short rests are nice.
Short rests are nice for specific classes.
Yeah.
Other classes, it's like, I gotta get that
There's,
long rest done.
yeah,
Yeah, it reads like
specific
it's supposed to be all of their key points.
Okay.
Also, Lissa, I'm gonna suggest going up to the top of the features bar and look at class resources to track your key points.
Class resources? What?
It's above unarmored defense on the character sheet.
It's above where you put like all of your feats and stuff like that. Or like right underneath flaws.
You can track your key up there instead of having to manually edit that every time.
Oh,
I
okay.
keep my inspiration there.
You can also track your ammo there.
They only give you 2 though.
How long is the short rest? I assume an hour because that's the basic of a short rest.
That's fine with me.
That's normally what a short rest is.
Right, you can have a bunch of resources.
Jamie, anything? Hour?
It sounds about right for a short rest from what I gather. I'll double triple check.
No, I'm asking, are you asking if you want it is an hour plus. Anything longer than like 8 hours is a long rest. Anyway.
At least 1 hour.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know if we want to spend more than an hour resting.
Anyways, beyond the flying gauntlets of randomness, there's nothing that really happens during that hour of resting. You all do whatever you do to regain your resources and health.
Shield. I need to figure out how much.
Shield gives you a +2 to your AC.
I thought it was.
Hmm?
That's a spell. I need the equipment.
Yeah, +2 to your AC.
Okay. Yay!
To do anything else with them, you need feats or magic goop availability on it.
But that still
Magic
makes a
goop.
difference to my poor squishy.
Squishy.
Anyways, so you have technically two options since you don't seem to want to take the guy back. You have the door that smells like rotten eggs, or you can go south to wherever that leads.
This is the door, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the door right over there.
If you want to know what it is, roll a survival check.
I was gonna say, well, does Borg tell everyone it smells like eggs?
It's up to Borg, I guess.
Yeah, Borg says it's like it
Bizarre.
smells. It really smells.
Holy shit.
Hi,
I
Plink.
think I know things, guys. Of course, even if I roll badly, I think I know things.
All of you are smart enough to know what is flammable gas.
We'll go over and sniff it.
Yo,
And
Aaron,
you
Orin backs the fudge up with their candle.
Yeah,
Lol.
yeah.
That's a boy
Not. Let's not. I don't feel like exploding today, and I've done that recently. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's practically my hobby. So let's not.
Guess we're not going that way.
Yep.
So you
So
said south is
yeah.
this one right here.
It's just a loop around tunnel. It reaches the same point.
But there's something over
It's
here.
you
Borg's-
already.
Borgsies right here.
Yeah, I'm saying if you go down this tunnel, it leads to this point regardless.
All right. Well, Borg just says instead just makes people go, and tells the guy it's like he can stay here, but he won't be protected. We have a job to finish.
Like he's
Well,
gonna
he
come
also
with
will be in the dark. He
Yeah.
can't.
yeah,
he
he's
can't
coming
actually-
with Orin who has a candle. At least offers to hold the candle for Orin.
Yeah. He's like, we will take you back
Or
to your
are
family.
are you leading us? Because you also can't see without Orin.
I was following Plink.
I was gonna
Blink
say,
and
only
Stars
Ian
can see in the
Blink
dark.
Can see in the dark.
There's a Plink is going in there blind, I guess.
Nope.
No,
Blink
Blink
can
can
see
see in the
just
dark.
fine.
That's why I was following Plink, but I was just saying to the guy, it's just like, you either follow us and we take you back to your family, or stay here.
Nick, why is
Orin-
put a swear word in your chat?
Is
By
put
the
a
way.
swear word? I have no idea.
Yeah, that's what triggered your mod.
I have no idea. Well, go.
Anyways. Oh, sorry, I gotta remove the door. Or yeah, you guys come across a door. Do you guys open it?
Sure.
Can we inspect the door to see if there's any traps or any more pictures on it?
Go ahead.
Would that be investigation or perception?
Perception. There's nothing apparently wrong with this door. It's just a pretty crummy wooden door.
Slightly rotting.
Mm,
Yeah.
Perfect. I say go ahead and open it.
Beep. Open the door.
As you open the door, flooding the area with candlelight. Get back to right there. You enter yet another hallway. One option leading off to the technical right of Plank, but looks like a left, and the other one heading south.
Okay, looks like we got two ways. We got this way and we got it that way.
Can we hear anything from either direction? Like, is there some echo or something?
You see the most obvious thing as you walk to the corner.
This one? Oh!
Yeah, you see, fully aware that you're there. Is a
Oh my god.
It's a necromancer standing next to a swarm of rat bones.
Oh,
Another
Borg is
no.
currently
body
in the
on
back.
table.
Borg is currently in the back, not seeing what it is because it's following Orin.
Org doesn't know. Orin, that's up to Orin wherever she is. And we begin combat yet again.
Borg is just having. Borg is just making sure the man behind him is protected at the very least. And I can't.
We
move.
begin.
I
We
can't
begin
move him.
combat yet again as the necromancer points at you, all seeming ready to cast spells.
Roll initiative
I
again.
think you're gonna have to move.
Heads up not to move, guys.
All right, roll your initiatives.
Oh yes, the people who are rolling the best are currently in the back. Perfect.
Hey, I don't need to like
Yeah,
at all. So
Borg has
I'm
range
doing
spells.
great.
Link's at a 6. Sarus is at a 3.
Yeah.
People in front are not
I'm
rolling
not
well.
doing too good with my initiative rolls. This
This is like
tonight.
one of my first times I actually did like a really good initiative roll, and I'm in the far back, so this is gonna be a
Yeah, you
problem.
don't even have line of sight to do anything.
Yeah.
You're just kind of
Just there.
you can probably prepare a hold action maybe,
I don't even
Yes,
know
you
what that is.
can.
but that's it. You can't
Anyways,
do anything.
hold actions allow you to basically store your action until a specific event might happen, or until the end of the round, and then do your action.
Also, wait,
Hey.
can't Borg technically get through all of us?
Depends how
Yeah.
thick
Yes.
Plink
Oh
is.
wait, I'm short.
Yeah, you can fit through.
Okay, so
You
I can
can pass.
walk past everyone. Okay, cool. I'm a 7-foot tall.
You just can't.
You
stand
have
one.
5 feet of clearance in these hallways. You can move past people unless they're threatening the square.
I forgot I'm also short.
Well,
Also, you guys aren't
I
threatening
was gonna say,
Borg.
how big? What about Zars?
How
though?
do
Can
you
he
know
get?
that?
Is it wide enough for him to get past Zars? 'Cause
Yeah.
Zars is not small like the others.
Yeah. Even though Plink's in front, there's at least 2 feet of clearance on either side of her.
Oh,
Blinky's just very good at blocking people.
However, Plink is threatening 5 feet of space around her to be able to react, so you can't move through her space if you're an enemy,
Okay,
unless
so,
you're considered small or tiny.
So basically, I can walk over Plink, but enemies can't walk over Plink. Got it.
Because Plink's basically holding them in their spot, not
Plink is
letting them
going
pass.
yeah.
Now, Plink can also, if she uses shields, get a feat that lets her threaten other spots to not let enemies move past spots adjacent to her.
Yes. I do not have that yet.
Well, yeah, nobody has a feat yet. Sorry, I need to roll initiative. I just need to explain that for you guys.
No worries.
No worries. It's good to have explanations. That way
Yeah.
we know what we're doing. And know why we are doing. Because I totally forgot about that.
Yup. You can pass through party members. Enemies use it all the time. However, you cannot occupy the same spot at the end of the turn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Unless you have like a
Yeah,
short
unless
person
you're
with-
all like considered tiny creatures, in which case you can all occupy the same 5-foot cube.
or hobgoblins.
I mean, if you could stack on Plink's shoulders, that's how it works.
That would be funny.
Actually, Orin and Plink could piggyback.
Right?
It would be kind
Yeah,
of
well,
Alright.
Orin would just fly above Plink.
Also, yeah,
So-
Orin doesn't technically care because Orin has the Z-axis plane to consider. Also, Orin is going first.
Yes.
Yeah, I am. Just nice, healthy, vicious mockery. Wait, yeah, that was the right button.
Vicious mockery. Does that hit though?
Vicious mockery.
Vicious mockery.
On which one?
It's a list.
On the
Uh,
necromancer dude.
Girl.
Wisdom save.
Girl.
It's a woman.
My bad. On the necromancer female. That sounded worse.
And she saves.
Ugh.
Wow, yeah.
Rude.
All right, it is the necromancer Flennis's turn.
Lennis.
So I'm not the one coming up with these names.
No, I didn't say anything. I was just like, oh, that's an interesting name.
Got a lot of things I could use.
I know the necromancer's like pointing, but it looks like they're crawling across the ground. Like a
Oh
my
spider.
God,
Like,
it does.
I only have a lot of options here.
Yeah,
I'm just
pretty limited.
I'm just imagining them like hunched over on the ground, with like one arm pointing at us, like hissing.
Eh.
Anyways, she's going to throw a scorching ray spell at you fools.
Ya fool.
Specifically one towards Plink and one at Zarus.
Rude.
Plus 6 to hit. I think I'd hit.
Is that for both of us or?
No, that's for Plink first. Plink, what's your AC now?
It is now 18.
Alright, I would not hit Plink. This is for Zarus.
That does not hit.
Awesome. I wasted a spell slot as beams of fire scorched through the air. One of which just Plink with a wooden shield deflects. And you're not really sure how or why.
Fresh paint, which makes it worse.
And Zarus just
Zarus is also
sidesteps.
resistant to fire, so.
Zarus is like, oh, I'm standing in water. It just sidesteps it
Eh.
as it fizzles out.
Eh,
Borg.
Borg has
Yes,
no
you-
idea. Borg has no idea what's going on, but sees that all of
You
us.
see the firebolt,
Yeah.
the scorching rays
You
fly
hear,
out.
yeah, you hear.
So Borg, how far can I walk? Wait, where-
35.
You're out of the water, so yeah.
So I can go. Yeah, I can go on.
You can get to the necromancers.
All right, cool. I walk past everyone. Oh, I just see.
Shoving us all
It's like,
away.
I go walk to Aura and I just see like, oh, there's people, and it's like, excuse me, pardon me, walking over Plink.
I mean, you could literally just step over.
Step over.
I mean, what I could have done is just like carry Plink and then use Plink, just like move Plink with me.
Just pick Plank up and move her to the side.
I mean,
That
I
is an
can't.
action.
What's
Mm,
up?
Yeah,
be
that
an
would
action,
that would cost
technically.
action. That's unfortunate.
Yeah,
Picking up Plink
just
and moving.
move through the
Yeah.
spots.
Move through. Is this the necromancer right here?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
The
Borg,
other one is a swarm of rats. Well,
Ew.
rat bones.
Borg goes straight to the guy and goes, "Hello, beautiful," and goes great axing.
Alright, you hit.
To the face.
Nice.
Jesus.
She might. It looks like she finds you edgy.
Yeah.
Alright. Anyways, it's the swarm of rats' turns, and since Borg has presented such an opportunity, far be it from them to disappoint. Anyways, let's see. I gotta roll. I think I'd fail to hit you.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe.
Blink.
I have to double check.
Okay. I just kind of realized how I technically can do things, but I can't really do things. So.
Mhm.
Boop.
I'm gonna make sure the rats. Wait, yeah, the rats can't come bug people. And
Wait, are you attacking who?
the rats.
You'd hit him. Go zap zap to rat rat.
Yep.
Zap,
And
zap
if
to the
they
rat,
try
rat.
to attack anybody else, they have disadvantage.
Zaris?
Do the rat, rat.
I'm a pest zapper.
You're a pest. You're a
Varus is gonna
pesticide.
move past Plink and start punching and stomping on the racks.
Okay,
Rats.
that's an interesting choice.
Up, that didn't
Crunch,
do
crunch,
it.
like
Oh, there it is.
Oh,
Whoa!
There's a nat 20.
Okay.
That is
Okay.
some
You fail to hit the first one, but the nat 20 obviously hits.
yee.
Uh,
5.
you roll your damage twice for crit.
Oh,
At least that's how I always play it.
I hardly ever get crits when I do my attacks, so I never remember.
You've severely depreciated the value of that rat swarm. Orin.
Ooh. There's some like smushed rats stomping
There's-
on
There are like 3 rats still left. It's like, oh, what do we do? What do we do?
them.
They were like 20 to start, and now they're like, ah! Orin, you're up.
You get it.
Orin.
The rat.
Yeah.
The rat goes
Not playing.
smooshy smoosh.
What?
Orin, not playing.
Yeah, I'm not awake, guys. Sorry. I have been up too long.
Don't
That's-
worry,
I
Jamie.
totally feel it.
You're okay, Jamie.
We gonna try vicious mockery again.
One more, just for the road.
One
Ooh.
more. Just
Do it.
make fun of this poor necromancer.
Orange. One day we'll get you a. Take 1 psychic damage.
I make the necromancer slightly more depressed.
You get a small chuckle.
Oh, they take disadvantage on their next attack roll, so
Alright, well,
You make it lose a slight bit of confidence. Make it second guess itself.
Yep.
yep.
okay. Everybody make a dex saving throw.
Dex
No.
saving.
Who knew?
Dexterity.
Well,
right?
everybody except for Orin.
Oh, yee!
Oh,
no,
okay.
wait.
Okay
No.
then.
Fine, Orin, take a dex saving throw.
Oh,
You'd be in range.
Oh my gosh, I made that?
Oh
wait,
my god, Jamie.
wait. What do you? What for dex? Is this just
oh my
dexterity?
god.
Wow,
wait,
yeah, Jamie.
Next to
you-
your skills, next to your characteristics, there's saving throws. Nick.
It's under your proficiency bonus.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, dexterity, right?
Yes.
Good news. You all passed.
Huzzah!
Bad
Woo!
news. I just used fireball.
Oh no.
Oh.
What
Good
happened?
news is all of you take 12 damage.
Is it fire damage?
It is fire damage. Listen.
Which means that was at least halved.
Hold
Okay.
on. Let me see this.
I'm in danger.
I just want to make sure.
Yep. All right. So minus 12. That is 19 on my end.
I'll get blasted with fire. Oh, and since that spell does not care about who else gets hit, the rat swarm dies.
They just burn to a
Yeah.
crisp.
Yeah.
They made them charcoal rats.
So I have
The
a-
few rats that were left scrambling to figure out what to do are now just burned.
Oh,
Right
that was
there.
a nice live fire.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know there's cool little buttons in it.
I like it.
Mm,
Oh, and unfortunately for the party, you failed one objective.
What?
Oh no!
Oh, did the guy die?
Oh, the dude died.
Yeah.
Even though he would have had like full.
What isn't he? Is I thought he was outside the corridor.
I thought he was out there. He wasn't.
So the way it works is I fireballed this spot specifically because it has no target.
Wait, you fireballed where?
It could go around the wall.
Yeah, because he's got full cover basically from where he is compared to where the origin point was.
It's compressed space, similar to the rules of an explosion.
So yeah, I would travel down the corridor.
Science.
Okay.
Guy died. Cool.
How you all took half damage, the universe will never know.
Magic.
All right.
Anyways,
Who wants to revive
now
the
that I'm
dead?
done using the one nuke I had, Borg, you're up,
Borg looks at the man.
woman.
pissed- Woman. Borg looks at the woman, pissed off, and then fails to do anything.
Yeah, you failed a hit.
I swing
Plank.
and a miss.
Okay. Can't go through, so I have to go through this to be able to hit Borg.
You want to hit
No,
Borg?
Not Borg.
You want to hit me, Jimmy?
No, I'm not
Please.
a white guy. I'm not white guys. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to click. Why did it click that many? Okay. I don't hit. Ignore the second one. That wasn't supposed to go.
Hmm. Oh, okay. Cyrus?
Cyrus, slightly singed. Walks over. and
You're
punches
slightly
them
less
in the
singed
face.
than the rest, I'll give you that much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Borg
That's
lost a
very true.
lot of his fur. Some of his beard.
Cyrus's pants are not looking too great.
Say your pants aren't looking great.
Yeah.
My parents have probably holes and bloodstains, and now they're slightly singed. Anyway, I punch him in the face.
Yep.
And I punch him in the face again.
Alright.
That doesn't hit.
If it'll go through.
Yeah, she's delaying the inevitable. Just
Come on,
one minute.
I
API.
know, Roll 20 is taking a long time to process my punching power.
All right, so
Did it not go through? What the hell?
all right, guys, how you guys doing on this fine?
Yeah, I don't know what's
night?
going on with this.
Oh, there it is.
Oh,
there it
critical
goes.
roll.
Whoa! Whoa!
That's why it took so long.
Cool.
I was working on the build-up.
Ta-da! Punching him in the face.
Okay. Let's see, it's 10, 17. For some reason, this necromancer's still alive. Oren.
Oh damn.
It's a good thing I didn't do a reckless
Is this
attack.
dude like dead or saving throws dead?
He's a minor NPC, so he doesn't get death saving throws.
Or so he's dead, so I can't.
Also,
even, like,
because we
try
went
to-
over the value of health he's allowed to have to even get a death saving throw.
Okay. So he's dead, so there's nothing I can do at this point.
I mean, we could drag his body
Well, that's
around.
unfortunate.
Drag his body
We
around.
were doing so well, guys. We
We
promised
only
him
walked
safety,
one
and-
room with him. One room.
Yeah, we rarely even went anywhere. And he spent the last hour like crouched in the corner watching these weirdos.
The last thing he saw was Borg almost ram him with his head.
Probably would have been better.
I
if
mean,
we
the
just
last
brought
thing
it
he
back up
saw
there.
probably was Oron flying, avoiding the
Fire.
fire that was coming at him.
Fair enough.
Oh my god. Well, okay, so there's no point in trying to.
Yeah, there's no
Nothing short of wish for resurrection.
Yeah, don't have those.
I have none of those things.
I have no idea what those things are.
How's the necromancer looking?
pretty beat up. Not gonna lie.
Somehow
As
still-
as
Zar's
half
just did
dead
a
as
lot of
Shorty
damage.
technically looked.
Let's do.
Let's do.
I'm gonna cast Dissonant Whisper then.
Look at her. Big money, big money.
Big money, big money, big money. No whammies, no whammies, no whammies, no whammies.
Ooh, it does go through.
Ooh.
It is 9 points of psychic damage.
I heard sad.
And it has to.
Yeah, she attempts to
Yes.
go any further back into the room, stumbles on the table, forgetting it was there. And unfortunately, that's going to be her action because she is terrified.
Yeah.
So Borg,
Did we? This person was
she's not dead.
Come on, Borg.
This person's still not dead. Borg comes up, walks over, and then just like readies his. He does a reckless attack in fear.
Okay.
So I get, just in case. That is the wrong thing I wanted to open up. I will do. I'm trying to bet. I'll just do a great axe.
You'd hit,
And Blanco.
and you cleave her in twain.
Ready's up and was there in terror. Right into.
All right.
On the thingy.
Well, you guys have successfully cleared the chamber of enemies. Not that the rats ever posed much of a threat, and continuously firebombed them. You don't know what the point of the rats were.
The rats didn't even bother me.
Cyrus got just stomped on them.
Stop, stop. Like basically.
with only one casualty, we've passed the.
Yeah,
cleared
Clem
the
is
room.
just a action outline on a wall now. Oren's not really sure when or how he got killed. Well, they're sure of when and how, just not sure how that worked.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Anyways,
Is there anything in the room that's interesting besides the dead body on the table?
there's the dead body. Flennis has a spellbook on her, as well as a silvered, highly detailed gall mace.
A
A what?
mace?
a silvered skull mace.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it's a flail, but
I don't know if Plank wants it or not. Borg sees it.
I could probably do something about it, but it's still gross.
Borg just grabs it then.
I want to make it specifically clear that it is a silvered weapon.
Borg
Yes.
Borg doesn't care
It's
if
still
it's silver.
gross.
Yeah, Borg doesn't care if it's silver. Just picks it up because it's a weapon.
Silver is good.
Silvered is a
Good.
special weapon type.
Do I add it to my inventory now?
Yeah.
All right. One. Is it a skull mace? Silver skull mace?
Yeah.
Skull mace. Good. I said skull mac. Ah, yes. That's the right one I want to do. Big
We
Mac.
don't have to.
Don't worry, I know what it is.
I don't care about the spell book. I let any others have it.
Okay.
We gotta. We got a problem.
Can I do we investigate the room, or can we like investigate what happened, like why who's the body or whatever?
Weapon of Clem,
Yeah.
he's gone.
Oh no, not the guy who got burned. I was thinking the guy who's currently on the
Can we get a... What are we doing?
I was gonna investigate it really quick.
Oh, it's the rotting corpse. Considering she's a necromancer, probably was gonna make a zombie out of it. You're not really sure.
Alright. Well, then I ignore it then.
You don't got a problem.
I go back to Orin. Oh, there's the guy. He's dead.
This is why we can't have nice things.
Should have been a little further back, I suppose.
We should have taken him to at least the entrance.
We have a job to do.
And he gave us a secondary job.
Who has the spellbook, or did you guys leave it?
Borg don't care about
I
spellbooks.
grabbed the spellbook. Sorry, I
Okay.
just realized I
Say Zarus doesn't care about the spellbook.
Borg don't care about no spellbooks.
Orin, you realize the spellbook has a very distinct skull-shaped locking mechanism on it, and you get the sense that Flanus probably had a key somewhere on her.
It's gonna need a key.
Ah.
But we need to be just a little bit more respectable, guys. Otherwise, we're gonna have more crispy critters, unfortunately.
Noted. Why can't
Orin-
you use your key
Orin
on
looks
it?
back, nods, and then like does like a weird sort of prayer over the body before going and like immediately digging through
The key.
her pockets. The necromancer's pockets.
No,
for the key.
Give me an investigation roll.
Borg just ask Plinks like, why can't you use one of your keys to open it?
Can technically open it, but it's best to use the original key because it could be trapped against not the original key.
Yeah. Borg just
But
shrugs off.
Magic users are extremely paranoid. It's kind of fun.
Orin kind
Uh,
of like nods in agreement.
You eventually find the key, not buried in a pocket, but buried in her hair. Along with, rat bones, some pens, what you assume can only be a flask of, you're not really sure. You're not really sure why all this stuff's in her hair, but it is.
I think she forgot her comb. Maybe it's in there somewhere.
Can
The bottomless.
Orin take
Extra storage.
the nondescript flask and one of the pens?
Sure.
Just start clicking it.
Click, click,
Click, click, click, click, click, click.
Looks like one of our models. Neat!
Click, click,
And I have the spellbook and the key to it.
click,
So,
And a pen.
whatever you want to
Smells
do.
like eggs.
Smells like eggs.
I'm not awake.
Anyways, this party advance south. It's like the only direction you can go.
Borg just
Not
waits for
without blowing
Orin to
up.
come because he can't see anything else.
Yeah, what does Orin do?
Yeah, Borg doesn't have vision.
Bring the theater.
The Borg doesn't. I'm not blind. Thank you very much.
Down here you are.
Borg can trust his instincts.
What is this? Is that a door?
Door.
There's a door.
There's a door, and then there's a staircase leading up to what looks like another door.
Is Orin gonna go in front of Borg or what? Because Borg was gonna go in the back of the pack.
Borg does not have light. Borg cannot see in front.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Orin should go in front. Thank you, Orin.
Chirps happily.
Happy trip. Door. Does it look like it's a problem door?
No,
Okay,
looks
problem.
just like a normal door.
Just ram it down. Boom.
Neat.
To be fair, the room full of explosive gas also looked like a normal door, so who knows?
Does it smell like
Well,
there's
do we
any-
smell anything?
Make your survival check.
Now.
Did it work?
Link smells none of that gas here.
Cool. Knock knock.
There is literally no answer from the other side of the door.
Why do I roll
Is
net
it?
20s on these?
Because it's fun.
Yeah, yes.
Because that's just how it works.
Buddy-ho.
sometimes.
Very much so.
Orin's doing great today.
Or no.
I guess Zaris.
Alright. Orin instantly zaps the candle into darkness, thinking she smells the rotting eggs again.
Borg is like, I can't see.
Oh no. Borg had beans. Sorry.
Borg explains to Orin that there's no rotten egg smells. There's nothing to worry about.
Frantic
Zaris is
chirping,
chuckling.
frantic chirping.
Guess I'm going blind then.
Zaris is bent over cackling.
Ugh.
Orin already smells like burnt whatever, like burnt plants.
Borg is just like, whatever.
Whoever smelled it, contact.
Borg is just gonna hug the wall at this point. Then
Zaris continues laughing.
Wink is
Borg.
not helping.
Borg is not ignores laughing.
Anyways,
Are we going through the door or up the stairs?
That depends on
Correction.
what Jamie does. I don't know
Like
what
what
Blink
Just
is
checking out
doing.
the door because the door looked neat.
there's nothing happens when you inspect the door.
Oh, I was gonna open it, but
Okay.
oh. Hello.
Like as you open the door, you spot just a lone rat. Not a dire rat, not anything tragic or anything. It's just a literal rat sitting on the floor.
As Kyle would say, "Oh,
I've
a rat."
Oops, didn't want to do that.
there's a rat, guys. Yeah.
Is that all
Yeah,
there is? In...
That's it. There's just a rat in that room, as well as what looks like a path further down past it.
I kind of don't want to squish our poor rat that's minding its own business. Do we
Okay.
wanna
I
go
was
down
gonna
that
say,
way?
Zaris looks at his feet.
Borg does not give two craps about it. Just wants to keep moving.
It just seems rude.
We need to progress. Come on. Either move that rat out of the way, or we're going over it.
Think it's
Or
a
we can
normal
go up the
sized rat.
stairs
Is
and
anybody
see what's there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, while
Oh,
Clink
handle
is
something. Do I have
contemplating this
handle
rat, Zaris checks to see if there's anything up the stairwell.
There's another door up there.
There's a
Handle
door.
animal. I do have handle animal. Kinda.
You want to roll it, I guess.
Yeah, what is that? Investigation?
No, that's not the boop. That's the boop.
Yeah, you can roll investigation.
Yeah.
Animal handling.
Yeah,
Animal
Plink's-
handling.
Plink, you realize the rat might be a bit hungry.
Oh,
Okay,
jeez.
I got something in my pocket.
Ours, you're like 90% sure the door is going to be trapped and may cause a cave in if you open it.
Zaris looks at it and contemplates whether or not to open the door.
I got some snacks
The thinking
in my
face
pocket.
happens.
And stay in the walls.
Cool. I am gonna. That's so. I got some rations, so rations for the rat. Because why not?
Zaris turns around, sees what's
Jesus
going on with the
Christ.
rat, and seriously contemplates opening the door and causing a
Go.
cave in.
Move the rat out of the way with some snacks.
Alright, the rat just scurries off into a hole in the wall and just goes on to be a rat.
You don't have to kill
A
everything.
happy rat.
It's just, it's,
You're right.
I don't know what to tell you. The little ruling is it's just a rat that just sits there.
I'm just Borg is just
We
sitting
need
here.
a backstory. We need like an epilogue of what happens to this rat now.
Well, I'm
Does he have a
sorry,
rat
you were playing
family?
druids.
Is he an orphan?
Nope.
Does
No
it
druid.
follow us around? Can it become our pet?
Anyways, Plank, as you go further down the hall, of course, you can see there's another hall that stretches very far down, past even your eyesight at the moment.
It goes on for a bit. Do we want to check it out or take the other door?
Zaris mentions that unless you want to cave in, we should probably head south.
Okay, let's head south. Doop.
He
Doop.
I'm
grabs.
not gonna lie, Nick has no idea where to go because Orin left the
Yeah,
house candle
no.
still.
Zaris walks over, sees
The
Borg just hugging the wall, and grabs his sleeve and starts dragging him behind.
He's like, all right then.
These people.
Borg-
Zaris also offers his shoulder to Oran.
Orin and
Sit.
Borg basically get dragged along by Zaris.
Yeah.
Thank you, Zaris. We need to babysit them.
Orin, stay in the walls.
Stay within the walls.
What walls? There are no.
There's a lot of
Trying to
random
do it,
stuff in the
it's like-
void.
And that's-
This looks weird. How come Borg is on top of the Borg's face on top of Orin's body looks weird.
Doop. Doop.
Borg looks like he has wings.
Come on, we're gonna be late.
God, Blake, you're moving real fast. Oh.
Oh.
Hey.
I ain't seeing anything. Should you just turn off Orin's light for now, Chris, so that I can't see anything?
No, because then you don't get to see anything, and I don't want you to not see anything.
Or do I
Yeah,
want?
you,
I want
you
to
need
go
to
blind.
be able to follow me. Oh, how did
Okay,
that
we're in-
happen?
You went outside the barrier.
I didn't mean to. There's lag. I blame my cat. He walks
I am-
across my
Anyways,
keyboard.
Plink
Definitely
encounters
that.
yet another inconspicuous door, looking the same as every other
God,
door you've met in this
There's
facility.
so many doors down here.
It's almost as if someone lives here.
Hmm?
But it stinks!
They're not freaking animals. They're murderers, but they're not animals.
But it stinks!
You open the
Because
door.
we're in the sewers.
You are in the sewers, that is true.
We're in the collective butt pouch of the city.
Alright, yeah, open the door to a flooded room. With just a bunch of random narrow support beams for some reason. There's a path that leads to the north.
Okay, let's be very careful.
Oh, there's something interesting up there.
That doesn't look good.
Yeah, you run into a dead end.
Anything of interest? Because I'm pretty sure there's something here gonna kill us.
Yeah, you come across a sarcophagus resting in the middle of the water in what you can only assume is a crypt. with the stone lid lying broken into 3 pieces under the water to the north of it. Inside is just a very soaked, rotted, disgusting body of whatever may once have been in there.
I'm gonna
Cyrus goes over and looks at it in disgust.
Someone doesn't want anyone having a good afterlife nap. What? Anything of interest besides the corpse?
Borg has no idea what you guys are doing.
We hit a dead end. There's nothing but a corpsey. It's extra corpsey.
Anything in the corpse?
Not that I can tell.
Then there's no point in coming here.
So looks like we got 2 routes. We got the route that's likely full of flammable gas that someone can light up on us at a given moment. Or we double check that door to see if there's a way of opening it without causing a cave-in.
Let's go back to that door at least. Make some investigation.
Good. So we either get buried alive or blown up.
Yeah, huh? Sounds like a day at work, huh?
Oh!
All right, nobody move, because I'm just gonna warp you guys back to the point.
Yeah.
I can't see. I'm blind. Oh, there I am.
Let's get...
I mean, to be fair, Zars is just literally.
Anyways,
dragging you
Cyrus,
quickly.
scared of the door, I assume doesn't want to be first then.
No.
Blink
Zars
will go
is
first. She's been
definitely
blown
does
up
not.
before. It's fun.
Borg can't really investigate the door anyway in the dark. So
Zars is very subtly hiding behind.
Are
Borg's
you gonna
big
investigate
frame.
the door, or are you just gonna throw it open?
I'm gonna investigate because Zaris has said bad things could happen.
And roll for the throw. It's a pretty standard door that you've come across already. There's no way opening it is going to cause structural integrity based on the fact that it's just a wooden plank door that isn't holding anything together.
Zars says that's a lie.
Blink.
Neat.
just
Boop,
blink.
scooch. Thwack.
It
You just
opens
bust
it up.
the door down.
Boom.
Zars flinches.
Borg is
When
just
no
watching
one is
both
the
of them.
same person of the group is problems.
Borg just like
Yeah.
looks at Zaris, looks at Plink, and just like shrugs.
The door has no structural integrity as it just crumples as Plink barrels through it.
Zars
That was
very
fun.
cautiously, while looking at the ceiling for cracks, walks through.
Borg continues to
you're-
follow.
There's no dirt above you, it's just solid, unbreaking stone.
Borg continues to follow
Zars
with
still
Zaris.
doesn't see it.
Anyways,
Doop. Doop.
you come across yet another altar. However, you are lucky enough that there's nobody here. It appears. The room is dry, though there's collapsing parts of it to the north. There are unfortunately piles of skulls and bones piled around everywhere. And the top of the altar is covered in dozens of half-melted candles made of black wax, all currently unlit.
So whom do we have the pleasure of seeing this delightful little sight?
I can't even see it at all, so Borg is just following Zaris.
There are some
Who's currently
candles.
cowering.
I got an 8.
For religion.
Yee.
Well, considering you found 2 other altars to 2 other gods, you can make the assumption that this is probably Merkel.
Merkel needs a better interior decorator.
Who, as the name suggests, is the Lord of Bones. So I
Similar to
need to
Bane.
refresh my page.
Similar to Bane.
Bane's the Lord of Murder. No, Ball's the Lord of Murder. Bane's the Lord of just death.
Murder.
I actually
Wait.
remember all three of them.
I think I have it written, if I remember correctly.
I don't know.
Yeah, Merkel's the god of bones, Bane the god of tyranny,
Tyranny.
and then Ball is the god of murder.
Straight up murder.
Yeah, chaotic god of murder is what I have written.
Oh my god.
Anyways, what do you want to do in the room? Do you do anything? There's a stairwell leading down in the back.
Zars edges around the crumbling, looking
Horn-
from the crumbling structure back at the door.
You do have
Staying as far away from it as possible.
you do realize that everywhere you go, I have to go follow you because you're the one who guided me.
Yeah. And goes down the stairs.
Well, if there's candles in the room, it stands to reason that someone's lit candles in here before and not exploded.
Oh, Zars isn't doing the explosion. He's still hung
No, it's
up
talking
on.
about to Orin, who hasn't lit a
on the
single candle
door.
yet.
Somebody
Oh.
has to remind Orin to light a candle at this point.
Borger's already tried to tell Orin. I'm just walking with them because I can't see much.
Hasborg?
I did.
Yeah.
When it first happened.
I tried to convince because I put in survival. I knew there was no gas, and you just jingled and
Yeah,
yelled.
you didn't. Yeah, panic jingled. You didn't even try to like calm Orin down.
Yeah,
This
so
is
Say, it's called irrational fears for a reason.
Borg just left it as is and just like is now just following Zaris.
Follow the leader in the dark.
Alright.
So no one's gonna remind Orin. That's fine.
No one's. Orin doesn't know
Zars
that there's
doesn't
candles in
need
here.
light, so Zars doesn't care.
Like thought about it.
I think you're going north.
I'm just gonna go blind. Is all. That's good.
I think
Or-
as you continue to plod through the water leading north, you hit that smell pocket of rotten eggs yet again.
Well, probably a good idea not to light it.
No candles, guys.
Good. Good.
We're hitting that spot again.
We haven't.
As you guys enter the chamber, it's a large flooded chamber, and while it's filled with the foul-smelling gas, there's not really much you can do about it at the moment, except just trudge through.
Good thing we haven't even lit the candle in a bit.
Zars just continues forward.
I'm just gonna follow.
Which way?
I'm just following where Zaris goes. Janine is just
Well,
my light to just see everything.
As you guys look left, you see the door, which you can only assume leads back to the altar of
Chamber.
Bane,
Mhm.
where you started the session.
Mhm.
And nothing up here.
The room's pretty empty.
Let's try this way.
What about down here?
Oh, you guys go down here? Okay. I can't even see.
There seems to be a path at the far end of the chamber here,
Over where?
down at the end.
Where's? Oh, okay.
I just like how
I
Janine
saw
has
that.
to.
Sorry, it's just out of my.
I just like how Janine just has to follow me everywhere just to see, just let me
There's
see
a-
the map.
There's an exit this way.
I am now.
Say Borg could light a torch, but you use a two-handed weapon.
Well, and there's also flammable gas, so don't do that.
I'm
Please
just,
don't do that right now.
I'm just following Zaris is all. Borg don't fully care.
Right? Actually, as much as you say that Orin could have, you also technically pulled out a.
Anyways,
Yeah.
as you guys enter the next area, you come into a hallway with a bunch of side passages, a bunch of which end in doors. And at the far end, you see yet another door. A lot of doors.
Do we smell any more rotten eggs?
No, as you start to leave the area, the rotting gas has dissipated to the point that you notice there's a bunch of torches in the water where the cultists have quickly snuffed them out, which gives you a good idea of where the gas ends.
Borg just tells Orin. It's like, We're good on lighting candles now.
Orin looks at you absolutely confused in the dark.
So each of these little inlets leads to a different door.
Why
the south.
is Orin confused?
You know what's sad?
Mm.
How much you just had magical light that you didn't even bother to try and use?
We do?
Jamie forgot. Jamie forgot.
Wait, do I have light?
Orin.
Do I have
Lasts for a minute though.
Prestidigitation gives you enough of a light to at least have it.
No, that one just
Oh.
lights up things. That's a fire, isn't it?
I don't know, maybe.
Hmm.
Would could I create like a tiny little lantern with prestidigitation?
I mean, that's still technically fire.
What's it? Well, oh, that's true.
It's not fully sealed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or I guess glow in the dark spores that illuminate. That's not fire.
Wait, did you not take the light spell?
No, I do have fairy fire though. It only lasts for a minute, but it does technically let you see your surroundings.
True.
I will give y'all a heads up. I can't stay up much longer.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
you-
if we want to end it here so Jamie can get some rest, that'd be this is a good stopping point.
Yeah, the
I'm
hallway
not
full
trying to be
door.
rude.
Borg is currently blinded still because trying to
Yeah.
ask Orin why he doesn't can't. turn
Oh,
on
you
light.
actually asked Orin that.
Yeah,
oh.
I asked.
Yeah, or
I-
he wants you to turn on the light.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
asked
after
Orin.
we got rid of the egg
Why?
smell.
Yeah, I legit asked Orin.
Alright, we've cleared half the map, guys.
Woo,
Ooh, with only one casualty.
woo.
One casualty and the party's almost half dead, so at some point
Yeah.
you wanna consider
Right, I
that.
am almost
Probably.
dead. I have like 12 HP.
You're almost dead.
Yeah, we've been walking
mean-
around for like the past 30 minutes with you all at half health, and I'm like, at some point they're
Yeah,
gonna realize this,
I
right?
was
yeah,
curious.
no, that's a
I
problem.
did. I just didn't want to like stop
You know
anything.
what? I have
Borg
health
just did not know
potions,
what to do.
so
Same.
Also, Zaris at the front of the party, like a mad lad. Completely done with his axe. It's just like, alright, let's get this over with.
I am so happy now though because I am actually not squishy anymore. So I need to figure
Yay.
out what's wrong with my spells.
What's wrong with your spells?
Are you
I-
using?
I
the
can't
wrong-
hit.
You can't what?
I have like a 2
For your spells?
to hit with
Should have
spells.
more than a
That's
two.
based off your spellcasting modifier.
My casting modifier should be 4.
Yeah, then there's something wrong there.
Yeah, then you should have a +6 to hit.
Yeah, with a proficiency bonus of 2, so at least 6.
That's
Maybe you're
weird.
not calculating in the.
Maybe Artificer's borked on this. I don't know.
Borked.
I can look into it later. Anyways,
Because
I
yeah.
think that's Jamie's exhaustion for the night.
Yep.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
No, don't bother us, Jamie.
it was a lot of fun.
It was fun, considering the fact how stupid
Well-
and lucky we were a couple times.
Like us all avoiding the
Oh,
fire.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
Jamie, I fixed it.
Okay.
You had the attack set to nothing. I set it back to spell.
Okay. I'm not very good at.
Because otherwise it's taking from none of your stats and just takes your proficiency.
Ooh.
Should hit.
Okay.
I may actually start eating. Oh wait, I still only have 3 spells per day at all.
Yep.
I'm a spellcaster who
I'm a spellcaster who has to be very careful about spells.
Don't you also get all of your spells?
Mm-hmm.
Long rest.
I mean, don't you have your entire spell list accessible? As long as
Only-
you swap them out.
Only a certain amount of them.
I know, but you know your entire spell list. You're not like limited like the bard to knowing only 15 spells.
Right.
Yes, but I have to be very careful about which ones I select because then I'm stuck with those for the day unless it.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
And I only get 3. First level.
Oh, so yeah, I could have sworn you took the other fire light spell, Janine,
No.
that Fays have access to.
Oh, I just realized.
That face have access to?
No elves do.
I don't.
I'm silly.
I've got like druid craft and fairy fire.
Druidcraft is basically just prestidigitation for druids.
Yes.
I just realized something is silly, guys. You want to know what it is?
What is it?
What?
Yes.
I think Plink has a way of making light for Borg. The little squeezy Borg is actually a light source.
I mean, when we take a short rest, whenever we do, hopefully next session. I don't know.
Why is it a light source?
I
think it is a light source. It's one of Blink's tinkering.
I'll post here. Borg ask question.
Pretty much, Blink can make like up to a certain level of items
As a tinkerer or no?
as a tinkerer or
Which can
gnome, which can a music box, a music box, a light source,
and a small dancing thing.
and a small dancing thing.
Oh my gosh!
Oh my
Blink
god!
can
Blink can
make
make a plot.
Blink
Blink can make Borg a
dancing board bot.
dancing Borg bot.
Oh dang.
Also, yeah, I thought you had dancing lights for some reason.
Mm-mm.
Nope.
No, that
Was this out of magical tinkering?
Is Orin and Borg can speak the same language?
Scroll down.
Yeah.
I thought Orin and Borg
Yeah.
can speak the same language.
You
Yeah.
can make an object
No,
that sheds
Orin-
light for 5 feet and 5 more for dim.
Yeah, she has that. She actually has that
made.
made.
That's the thing she made the board
That was the
bot.
thing she made the Borg bot.
The one that makes a little.
Yeah.
Like a,
Borg has has a literal small flashlight.
Blink remembers she has it. She forgot about her toy. She makes toys.
So I guess like as Borg tries to explain to Orin that it's
Like Orin just didn't understand the comment. Like she just didn't. They just didn't understand like what the fudge you were talking about.
okay. So as I think it's like as Borg
Not
tries.
that there wasn't a language understanding. It was just
Okay.
what? Why are you bringing that up? What is?
Yeah.
What's
So
going
Borg
on?
tries to explain to Orin that we're safe from any of the gases, noxious gases, right now. So it's clear to light. I guess Blink just comes up behind Borg. Is like, here you go.
Right.
It's like,
I
here, let me
forgot
turn
I
that on
had
for
this.
you, buddy.
He's like, oh, okay.
So a little bit of light.
What's sad is it would have worked to get through the exploding gas because it's not an open flame.
It looks like it's spouting flame, but it's not.
So Borg is just like, it's like, oh, okay.
It's like a little raspberry blowing light source.
I love the idea that
Sassy.
this means that Borg once again stopped like mid conversation and then turned away because clearly it's not important. to
No.
finish
Here, Nick,
no.
I'm gonna give you some bright light.
No. Borg was explaining it. See, Plink just gives it randomly. It's like, oh, okay. Well, Borg finishes up the conversation and then says like, but you're good.
Yeah, that's the thing I made during the one session while
So
we were waiting for things to happen and destroy the pirates.
the Borg just like finishes up the conversation.
Right.
All right.
As long as I maintain it, it's all good.
Just making sure that you understand at least we're safe for the fire. Also, I disappeared. Where did I go?
I was checking something.
I zipped through.
Oh,
I am gonna head to bed, guys.
Yeah,
I have
Borg,
passed
you
out.
can now see up to 10 feet away from you
Sweet. Now I'm
without
not blind.
Warren's flashlight
There.
of a candle. However, a candle does have more range than you.
Yep.
It's just a temporary nice thing.
Thank you, Jamie.
It's an emergency light.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
Blink totally forgot about
Just in
that.
case Borg somehow gets separated from the group, he does have a light source.
Woo!
Yay!
That being said, Borg also has access to
Yeah.
torches in his own backpack.
Do I have it?
It looks like work.
Yeah, you have torches. They're in every basic adventure, in
Yeah,
every
but the
basic
problem
kit.
is it's fire.
It's only effective in the one chamber, as far as you know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
And
yeah,
I need to maintain that
and
every
I need to maintain that every
24 hours.
24 hours.
Now you've maintained it.
Yes,
Been maintained.
All right.
it's been maintained. It's
All
just
right.
a matter of
Get some
next
rest,
24 hours.
Jamie.
Blink needs to tinker with it.
Get some rest, Jamie. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yep.
Good.
See you next time, everybody.
Night, night.
Bye.
Night.
Good night, Jamie.
Good night, Jamie.
Bye,
Good
Jamie.
night, Jamie. Get
Good
some rest.
E.
Jamie's already gone. Dropped.
I mean, Chris can relay
Goodbye.
the message.
Au revoir.
All right, have fun, guys.
All right. See you later,
Okay,
Chris.
so do have it.
Bye, Chris.
Night. That was a lot of fun. Thanks,
Yeah.
Chris.
Same.
No problem. Have a nice night, guys.
Night.
You
You
too.
too.
Okay, that session was actually funny and stupid at the same time.
That was yeah, we were not very smart in that session.
Coming back from 2
We
weeks,
tried to be, and it did not work out.
I at first
I
off,
actively chose not to make the smart decision, which would have been to leave
Yeah,
her
you-
alone.
I didn't tell the guy to go back a little bit. I forgot about him.
Well, he wouldn't have made it back on his by himself. He can't see.
That's also true, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we could have, like, I could have just lit another torch for him and let him, and, like, we could have given him directions back.
True.
But-
Yeah.
We should have. Zars would have not offered to do that though. Zars did not
Literally
care
only
about
like,
him.
cared enough to, like, be like, we should probably send him back.
Yeah, Borg didn't care enough. Borg was just like, we have a job to do. We were paid to do this. We finish this job first before we do your job.
Fair enough.
Yeah. It almost worked, but then he got further.
Yeah, unfortunately, I feel bad for the guy. Although someone made the argument of we shouldn't send him back himself because if someone
That was
were
me.
to come in and
That was
Oh.
me.
which fair, makes sense, but we also did kill everything on the way there, so
And there weren't any other weird hallways.
Yeah, I don't know.
that we know of.
Borg was just suspicious is all.
No, it makes total sense. Like he could have easily been killed by the bathhouse staff.
We
Once
don't
he
even
made it
know.
back to the
We don't
door.
even know if the bathhouse are even people that can attack people. All we've interacted is like intimidated a woman, tried to intimidate a woman, and then he's always destroying it with a bath of blood.
Yeah, Zarus is gonna need another bath after this. He's very disgusting now, as we all are
I just-
walking through sewerage.
I just find it more funny that I managed to roll a strength strong enough to rip off the chains instead of just taking the keys.
That was pretty great, honestly.
Dude was already like, alright, I don't know what's gonna happen.
I feel that dude's last moments were not very nice. Although probably better than being tortured, but at the same time he was then burned. So
But it almost was quick and painless. Almost.
Pretty
yeah, after giving him
instantaneous.
hope of getting out of this relatively safely.
Burnt to a crisp.
Oh well, I mean, he could have just given us extra money, or he could have been like a helpful plot point later on. But whatever.
I was thinking he was going to be a helpful plot point, but we ended up just killing him. So
Yeah, I honestly, he probably had more information we could have gotten out of him if we had successfully gotten him back. But at the same time, none of us in this party is full of chaoticness, and so none of us are real concerned about saving people. Unfortunately.
Borg only saves people if he's being paid, and that only is if he doesn't have a more important job to go through right now.
Yeah, I think it's already been established that Aris will only save someone if he's being tricked into it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, we went through like. Yeah, we then there's Janine. Okay, Janine, what did you do with Sag? I was not paying attention because I was typing some stuff.
What did I do when?
The magical hands.
Oh,
What did you do?
Orin just. So I knew it was magical. And my thought process was if the hands are magical and they're connected to the suit of armor, then maybe it's like the hands will activate the whole suit of armor.
Okay.
But also they're a magical shiny thing. And
Oron
so,
wants magical
and
shiny
Oron's
thing.
bored, and let's see what happens. So Orin went over to like hold one of the hands and then yank down to like disconnect the hand from the rest of the armor.
And that
And I
activated
did not like that.
it.
I was just curious what the heck you did, but okay, that explains it.
Wasn't anything too bad.
Wasn't too bad. I mean, you just got to see it. I actually got to use my ramming for once,
Alright.
and it scared
Yeah?
the heebie-jeebies out of the other person.
I know, that poor guy.
It's just like
He had a rough end of his life.
you sees bored, rip him out of the wall, intimidation, and then while attacking everything, he literally just recklessly rams his head into one of those things and then crushes it right above his head.
I mean, to be fair, Zaris was also kicking the dead bodies. That
We
Well, this
weren't
is all
making it
happening.
great for the dude.
The only person that was had any sense to talking to him was Blink.
Yeah, Plank was like the shining holy angel in this group of like
Misfits.
double
Hey,
spawn. This
You-
dumpster
I am-
fire.
I'm face spawn. Doesn't really
This
make
is
me much
just-
better, but you know.
It's a
It's a dumpster fire of a group, and Plink is like just a hint of water.
Well, not much better though, but
Honestly, I love this group though. This is like the first time I've legit just been in a chaotic group where no one gives a shit about saving people. And it's honestly pretty funny.
I completely forgot to just keep that guy alive. I just like Borg was like, I saw like fire.
Well,
Well, fire got
I mean,
past all you guys.
I didn't realize he was so close either. I thought he had like stayed further
no,
back.
yeah, I mean we kept him a little ways back, but unfortunately that fireball just landed right in the middle of all of us, which was close enough.
Yeah,
If it had landed like
closer to me.
I don't know, like a little bit farther away, it might have been fine. I don't know the exact range of close quarters fireball. Or fire
It looked like he was literally at the edge of the whole
Yeah.
5-hour range. So he was like a bit before that. Yeah, I was just like, man, Borg was like saw fire get past. He's like enemies, just like starts moving people around just to attack the necromancer without even like thinking about the other guy.
No, you might not have been able to do anything.
Probably I could
There
have told him
wouldn't
to
have
move
been,
back
like,
a little
nothing
bit.
that we could have done.
Yeah, but then again, I thought he was far enough to be honest.
Oh yeah, no, I thought he was far enough. I think we all did, but we also the rest of us got out of that pretty easily compared to that poor dude.
Well, the rest of us are like, yeah, half damage, quarter damage, half damage, and he's just like, damage.
Oh. And then we just got like Orin having bad rolls, being paranoid with the candle. Zafir's thinking a structural damage what will happen. And Borg was like, I'm blind.
Yeah,
Can't see.
Mars had the mistrust of the structure of the door.
So it's just like, I am suddenly an expert in structural integrities of buildings and waterways. I don't trust these things.
Even though we've already come this far.
I mean, wasn't there like a place earlier in the sewers that was like had structure that could have collapsed if we did something? Maybe you could say that was before.
Oh,
I think that was something.
I don't remember. I mean, there are definitely several rooms that had pillars,
Mhm.
structural pillars, but we didn't really do anything with them.
Mhm.
So like we avoided them.
Yeah, that's true. So, yeah, this session was chaotic, more chaotic than usual. Let's see if we survive the next. I've been trying to save up my rage, which luckily has been good. Oh yeah, Bart got hit in the balls too, so
Yeah, we're gonna need to take a long rest soon.
we need to take a long rest. I am
Yeah.
down to 1 rage. I'm down
We're
to
all
1
down on
rage,
both.
yeah, and all that stuff. Also, gens, yeah, it's a chaotic group. I
It's such a chaotic group. I
Yeah.
love it.
I think it was like two sessions ago we switched GMs and we had a different person, but this one is like absolutely
We used to have a
we used to have a different person.
used to have a straight lace, by the book paladin kind of guy.
So,
We used to have a voice of reason for our madness.
yeah, he used to be the one who put together and led the group, but because he had to do something else as the group, we ended up just going to objective without really reasoning, and we were barely keeping each other together.
Well, it's just the this isn't a dungeon. The sewer we're in.
Yeah.
We were fine because we did a long rest at the inn
Yeah.
before we went to the bathhouse,
That is,
and then we just decided to say screw it and continue on and not go back for another rest.
I mean, to be
And
honest,
it's just been battle after battle after battle.
to be honest, if Janine didn't successfully stop Borg and make him fall asleep, we wouldn't have that long
Oh,
rest.
this would have been so
I
much
know.
worse. None of us would have followed you. You would have been on your own. You
Yeah,
know.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know.
yeah.
I know. That's just
You would
Borg.
have died.
That's just Borg.
Okay.
Oh well.
Rolled up a new character.
You roll up new character. I have a plan for another character, at least.
All right.
I have
Oh, good. It's always good to have a backup plan.
I have a backup plan. I just need to talk with Chris about it if Borg ends up falling face first into the dirt.
I feel like I never have a
Women
backup
with the fishes.
He's sleeping with the
plan.
fish. No,
Sounds like
if I
some
die in the
rat food.
sewers, I'd be sleeping with the rats.
Yeah. Become food for our new pet rat.
What? I don't understand why Jamie's character playing society is like, move the rat, move the rat.
We're gonna keep that rat. We're gonna find that rat. We're gonna find out if that rat is orphan or if that rat like has a family and like 3 kids that it has to keep alive. We're gonna figure out all of that stuff. None of us can speak to animals.
Just
That rat is gonna have its own spin-off story.
rat man
Rate me.
saves the. What city are we in?
I don't know.
I don't even know. The city
I
from
don't remember.
crimes. Protects them from the outside world. Dun 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 dun. And eats corpses.
Ew.
I mean, isn't that just what rat do? They eat corpses?
Guess. I mean, most carnivores do.
They're scavengers. Yeah.
So yeah,
Right?
they would eat the
So
rotten.
they don't have to, but they do.
Ugh.
Anyway, I'm heading off to bed.
All right.
Yeah, I gotta
It's
get
late here.
going as well.
No
I'm
worries.
pretty tired. I worked all this weekend, so it was interesting.
Yeah, it sounds like you had a busy day. Well, it was
Yeah,
fun.
I mean, honestly, weekends aren't necessarily too bad. They're not normally busy. They're only like chaotic if treatment gets really bad. Because then we have to get pulled up to help because they have no extra hands in treatment on weekends.
Mhm.
You just have to get up really early for weekend shifts.
Oh yeah.
But it wasn't too bad today. It was just a long day.
Yep.
We all got in this morning and we all looked at each other and we're like, okay, let's order coffee.
Yeah. So next week will be our last session before our another hiatus break. Hopefully we'll finish the sewer by then.
Well, Chris said we're only halfway done.
Yeah, that's true.
So we're not gonna finish unless we decide to just abandon it.
Or actually actively work on that.
Actively
Be a
work
bit
on
more
that
progressive.
instead of arguing with each other.
Yeah.
That's not happening.
No, it's not.
Uh-huh.
Well, you two have some good rest. It's a fun session.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun. I enjoy the chaos. It's a fun change.
Fun chaotic thing.
It's a fun chaotic thing
Yeah.
that hopefully none of us dies.
Yeah, that would be nice. Just remember we have health potions.
I have my health potions. I do have them. I plan to use one of them if need be.
I'll probably use one at the beginning of next section.
That is
Let's
if
be real.
that is if we don't take a long rest. Oh, long
Yeah,
rest.
I
short
feel
rest.
like
Our group isn't good at taking rest. That's why
No.
I'm very like cautious of like any like leveled spells that I use because I don't. Cause like I need a long rest before I can get them back.
yeah. Zara's well, it's the same with my key points. I'm relatively reserved in using those because I need either a short or a long rest to get them back.
Right?
But I mean, otherwise, I'm just all melee except for my cantrip, but that's a cantrip. So
That's fair.
Zars isn't normally too concerned. It's more when he gets hit a lot that it becomes a issue.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah.
But anyway, we'll figure it out what we'll do next time.
We'll
Right.
we'll,
Well,
we'll find
fun,
out.
guys.
Good night, people.
Yeah, good
Night.
night.
Night. Let's
Night.
But yeah, Kasumi. I'm ending it off here. It was a fun night, fun-filled night. We couldn't go on too much longer because of Jamie. Not only it was getting very, very tired. We had it was getting late, and also like as you heard, like people were getting kind of tired today, so it was not much of a. It was can't go too late, so yeah. Next week, next Sunday, is gonna be another session. As long as nothing happens, it's gonna happen around 6:30 p.m. Pacific time still. 7 p.m. If needed. One of my friends is the U.S. East Coast, and we're having stone. Oh, oof. I hope they're having. I hope their power and all that stuff are doing fine during that time. Sounds like it's gonna be a rough time, nonetheless. But yeah, your weather good? My weather is good so far. It's been clear skies. It hasn't been sunny and all that stuff. Get ready for bed. Thanks for the talk and have a good night, Catch. Yeah, thanks, Jens, for so much for joining, and I hope everything works out for you for sure. And I'll catch you for sure soon. And thanks so much for joining. Yeah. So you have a good rest, and I'll see you in another stream for sure. But yeah, Kasumi, like my weather has been good. It has been less sunny and less hot, but for sure has been pretty good lately. I would say for like, okay, next week I'm gonna be doing DnD. That's gonna be the last DnD session before I have my break, and we're gonna have a hiatus from D&D because this first weekend of September, I'm gonna be going to PAX West, and while I'm not gonna be there the entire time, it's gonna be pretty exhausting, and I think I'm gonna be taking some rest after that each day, so all 4 days. So that weekend I'm not gonna be streaming, and I'm not gonna be doing a D&D session. The weekend after that, the next Sunday, which is like the September 12th, I'm gonna be going to a wedding, and so I can't schedule a D&D session because I'm gonna be there for a long time, and I'd rather just not rush things for a D&D session. It's gonna be happening at like 2 p.m., but weddings go on for a little bit, and I'd rather not just like rush back to do a D&D session after a wedding. So D&D is gonna be canceled then. And then the weekend after that, Jamie and Chris, our player and the GM, are gonna be doing something that weekend, and so we're gonna have to have our next D&D session. So that'd be like session 9, happen at the end of September. So we're gonna have a long break again for D&D. Hopefully things work out. But yeah, so next stream I'm gonna be doing this week is gonna be Skies Arcadia on Wednesday, and then the weekend I'm planning to try to finish up TCG and maybe TCG, maybe Sky. I am not completely 100% sure, but I'm at least going to try to finish up Metopia at the very least. That's going to be done. And then we're going to try to finish up, like, play more Yu-Gi-Oh! This Saturday, I'm going to be making sure everyone's okay, because I really want everything to work out, is have mod fighters, basically Dragon Ball fighters with skin mods. It's gonna be stupidly chaotic. It's gonna be stupidly fun. I found some good skins. I think it's gonna be hilarious. I really think it's gonna be hilarious. So if you guys want to see that, that's gonna be happening this Saturday around 8 p.m. Pacific time. At least that's the start of it. And then the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on Switch is gonna be happening afterwards. So if you guys want to join in for Mario Kart 8, that's also gonna be happening on that. But yeah, this is going to be the last week before my weekend break at the very least. I'm not sure I'm going to be taking another break on Wednesday streams yet, but I might take it. Who knows? But yeah, I'm going to be taking a break on the weekend streams at least on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for streaming, at least on the first weekend of September. So hopefully you guys have fun. I'm still going to be working on some videos, working on some extra content. I have some things I have planned to go up before that Labor Day weekend or on the Labor Day weekend, so you guys can watch stuff and have some stuff while I take a break. So and I will be vlogging my experience at PAX West with both Fanto Yoshi VR and our friend Sean. It's going to be on our group channel. You guys will be able to watch it all. I'll be hopefully editing it within September, so it can be out by the end of September, and so you guys can see it all. So hopefully that all works. Hopefully you guys take care and everything. I'm looking forward to more fun stuff at the end of in September, because September is going to be a lot of fun. You know, Carl's going to be more free and a lot of more stuff. So we'll see. So yeah, as of right now, I'm just gonna end it here. I'm gonna be raiding Carl. I'm just gonna say hi to him and then probably take a little bit of a breather, because I've had like a tiresome day today because I slept pretty late. So I'm gonna be doing some other stuff in the background while the time being. So yeah, thank you Kasumi for joining at the end. I know it's like you joined at the very end, and I'm sorry that you couldn't see much of it, but I'm really happy that you at least said hi. Thank you Jens for coming in and sticking around for the entire time and all that stuff. Yeah, thanks Kasumi so much for dropping, and much appreciated anyway. So hope to catch you in other times too on streaming too, when I'm a little more free. But yeah, and I hope you work out your streams, by the way. I really hope that you figure out, or the situation with the delay gets better. I actually had like a lot of like frame drops earlier this stream, so I just think it was just slight bottlenecking with the internet, so it was fine. Yeah, it was fine today. Seems like it was just Twitch yesterday. So yeah, hopefully it was just Twitch, so, and it resolved itself for sure. But yeah, shout outs, obviously great people, friends, and give people a follow for sure. Hope everyone takes care. We're gonna go raid Fanto Yoshi VR in the meantime and say hello and everything. But he's playing Destiny 2, a requested game by Kaminari for sure. So yeah, yeah, thank you so much for you guys joining in and having fun, and I really hope that you guys I see you guys on another stream, whether it be on mine or someone else's. And and I hope you all have a safe and great rest of your weekend or great start to your week. So yeah, see you guys another time, and take care for sure. I catch you guys later for sure. It's Raid Vanto Yoshi VR. So yeah, see you guys later. Have a good rest of your night as well. So, and I'll catch you guys in another stream. Alright. So, see you later, Kasumi, and I'll see you on your streams when I can, for sure. Alright. Catch you guys later.